Hello, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. So in today's video, I am very excited that I'm going to be talking about this little guy. So this is the Lunar Beauty Moon Prism Blush Palette, and I'm so excited to be playing with this. So I really love blush. I think blush might be my favorite part of my makeup routine. I don't know, I just really love blushes, and I really like Lunar Beauty too. I've been really impressed with everything that the brand has put out so far. So I'm excited to be playing with these blushes. So if you want to hear what I think about the blushes, I don't have any blush on yet, so I haven't. It'll be kind of a little bit of a first. Well, no, it's not total. Well, yeah, it is. It's a first impression, kind of. You'll see. So how about we just keep watching? But before we go, don't forget, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. So without any further ado, all right, let's just get going, okay? Okay. Are you excited? Because I'm excited. So let's just go. So we're going to be talking about the Moon Prism Blush Palette today from Lunar Beauty. So this is the unicarton. I really love this like ombre, pink, purple, kind of ethereal look. Like, isn't this gorge? Like, hi, how are you, gorge? What up, Natalie? All right, this is so pretty. I adore this. And then if you think this is pretty, here's the actual palette. Isn't this pretty? This is just so beautiful. Beautiful. I have to give it to Lunar Beauty. Hands down, they have some of the most gorgeous, most beautiful packaging in the makeup game right now. Like, their packaging kills it every single time. It is so good. So here's the palette. It is quite heavy, quite weighted, but I like the size of this. So just in comparison, I've got two other Lunar Beauty palettes. This is the Strawberry Dream palette, and then here's the highlight palette that they came out with for Christmas last year. Just to kind of compare size-wise to these two, the blush palette is a little bit smaller. So the Greek Goddess highlight palette and the Strawberry Dream palette are exactly the same size, but the blush palette is not significantly, but a little bit smaller. So the pan size is going to also be smaller. If you have this Greek Goddess blush or highlight palette, this is also 6 pans, but these are much larger pans when you look at and compare to the blushes in here. So you can kind of see the difference. I actually kind of like the smaller size. I don't know, just maybe, just in general, because all of these palettes are quite weighted. If you're trying to, use the palette and then use the mirror to do your makeup, I tend to get like carpal tunnel holding the palette because they are sort of heavy. So I like the size of this one better. I just think it's a nice, cute, slightly more compact size, which I think is really fun. So in here you have 6 pans of blush. They are 0.96 ounces each, or 27.24 grams in here. In comparison, for the highlight palettes, you have, these are of course larger pans, you got 1.09 ounces or 30.9 grams. So these are slightly larger. So let's talk about this guy a little bit more. So of course in here you do get 6 pans of blush, and it does retail for $35 for this palette. As part of this collection, they also released 3 glosses. So these are the Moon lip glosses. And there's one shade that was a re-release. This is the shade Celine, which was part of the Greek Goddess collection. They brought that back. And then there are 2 new shades of gloss. We have Moon and Starlight, so kind of a nude, kind of a really light nude, and then kind of a pink, and then Celine is a gorgeous gold. So these glosses retail for $17 each. You can get a gloss bundle with all 3. That is $40, and then you can get a full bundle with the blushes and the 3 lip glosses, and that is $60. So, a little bit of savings there, which actually is not, that's a really good deal. $60 for the blush palette and 3 glosses. I think that's actually fairly reasonable. I think just in terms of pricing for Lunar Beauty, I generally feel like their prices are reasonable for the product you get, for the quality of the packaging that you get, and just I think for the amount of product you get in here, because like I said, it's 0.96 ounces per pan, and you get 6 pans, so that's actually pretty good for $35 to get 6 blushes. Yeah, that's fairly reasonable. I like that. So what to do next? Let's go and talk about the blushes. So this, honestly, this palette came out a little while ago, but well, I could do a whole like story time video about all this stuff that's going on in my life. But I've been super busy, very, very, very busy with all of my volunteer work. Just a lot has been going on since basically mid-March when everything shut down. That's when my work really, whatever, we don't have to get into it. But I'm very excited because there are, of course, 6 shades in here. I like the fact that as for a blush palette, it does have a range of different colors. There's a very, very light pink color all the way down to a pretty rich, deep, that's kind of a reddish, kind of mahogany red color. So let's go ahead and look at the 6 shades that are in this palette. I did swatch them on my arms. Let me show you those swatches. So first we have Pink Moon, which is a pale pink in a matte finish. Twilight, a bright coral orange with a matte finish. Spacey, which is a deep terracotta in a matte finish. Soleil is a rose shimmer with gold reflect. Stargaze is a dusty rose in a matte finish. And Gravity is a deep toned cinnamon in a matte finish. I like that there are a range of colors. Having swatched them, of course, I'm not wearing these on my cheeks. I am wearing this palette on my eyes, which is why I was like, it's a first impression, but kind of not, because 15 minutes ago I did this eyeshadow look using this palette. So I just, from swatching, I don't think I'm able to get much use of any out of this light Pink Moon shade. I did use this as a brow bone highlight, and then I used a little bit of another highlight, but as a brow bone lightening, blending color, because this is so light. I don't think that this is going to show up on my medium skin tone. Now, these others I think could work. I like that both of these shades down here, this one that's a little more terracotta called Spacey, and then Gravity, which is the cinnamon shade, I like that those seem to be very pigmented and very deep. So, you know, there is a range of skin tones that I think this will use, but that's kind of why I wanted to do this video, because someone with my skin tone, you know, you look at this and you're like, I don't know, can I use this? So I'm going to try. Let's go ahead and just start putting this on my face before I give any kind of final thoughts or anything about it. So I've got a clean blush brush. This is a Morphe M530. So this is a natural hair blush brush. I like natural hair for blushes. And I think I'm going to go in with Pink Moon first, just to kind of see, does it do anything? I honestly, I doubt that it will, but let's give it a go. So I'm picking up a fair bit on my brush. Yeah, see that? I don't see anything. I honestly don't see anything. Well, there's a little bit of like a pink sheen kind of right in here, but it's not really working as a blush. So no, this one's not working on my skin tone at all. And like I'm, you know, a medium, light medium. You know, I'm not, I don't know. Sometimes I get away with like calling myself tan, but really when you like look at foundation shades, it's not me. I'm still pretty much of a light medium to a true medium skin tone, and this is doing a whole lot of nothing. I see a slight pink tinge, and it's just kind of lightening this area of my face, but nothing really is happening. This did work really nicely as a brow bone highlight. Let me find, where's the brush that I used? Here we go. Here's the brush. I think it worked really well as a brow bone highlight. This looked really nice when I used my eyeshadow. So let me also go ahead and talk you through how I did my eyeshadow. I started going into the shade Stargaze and just put this all through the crease and kind of the outer corner. And then I went into Pink Moon, which this one works well as a brow bone for me because it lightens it a little bit, but still adding a little bit of pink color. I think it looks really good and it worked well to blend that out, so I used that. And then I went into the shade Spacey and tried to deepen up the outer corner using that color. It didn't really work as like an eyeshadow per se. It didn't have enough pigment, which is good for a blush, but when you're using blushes as eyeshadows, it doesn't quite work because the formulation's a little bit different. With eyeshadows, I like eyeshadows that are more pigmented and have a little more of a punch. With blushes, it's kind of nice that they are buildable. So, you know, do with that as you want. So I kind of took Spacey and then I took Gravity and just kind of put this all over my lid, into my crease, just to give it a little more depth. Then I took Twilight, this orange, kind of works it into the crease to like blend things out a little bit, you know. I don't know. I was trying to use all of these shades. And then I took Soleil, which is the one shimmer, and I tapped this all over my lid. And this was really, really pretty, I think. If you saw my quick like zoom tutorial video that I did, if you're not, I will link it up there. I really like taking just a quick like bronzer or something in the crease and then taking a shimmery or not really a shimmer blush, but more of a satin blush with maybe just a little bit of shimmer and tapping that on my eyelid for my like shadow, and I think that's a really pretty look. And Soleil worked really well to do that. I like how it turned out tapping that all over my lid. It blended out really nicely, and it blended of course with all the other blush colors really, really well. Then I took a little bit of Twilight and a little bit of Stargaze and ran that underneath my lower lash line. And then just for a little bit of extra definition, I actually hopped into the Strawberry Dream palette here. And I mixed these two blue shades. So that's Blue Sky and Haze, the light blue and the dark blue. I mixed them together, took an angled, like an angled brush and tapped that underneath my lower lash line. And then I put this dark blue liner from Urban Decay. This is the shade Sabbath, and put that on my inner waterline. Blended out all of those blues, of course, using a little bit more of the two mid-tone blushes from the palette. Blended that all together. I took a little bit of Lightning, this kind of gold shimmer, put that on the brow bone for my highlight, and then I took Blue Diamond, my absolute favorite shade from this palette, and put that on my inner corner for an inner corner highlight. So that's how I did my eyeshadow really quickly, using just a handful of shades from the Strawberry Dream palette, but mostly using shades from this palette. Let's keep going with blushes and see what we can do. I think I'm going to use like on each side, I'm going to do like a different mix. So I'm going to start with using Twilight and putting this on. Does this show up? Oh, that's pretty. That's actually nice. It's still a little bit light. It's not quite as pigmented as I like. I know, there's like a debate. Do you want a really pigmented blush or do you want one that's more buildable? I like both. I like a buildable blush, but I don't like to have to really work at it. Do you know what I mean? Like I want it to let me build it up, but I don't want to spend that much time. And this one's taking a little while. Color is really nice, but the color payoff is not, it's okay. That's kind of pretty. Okay, now I'm going to take Stargaze. This one's kind of berry. Now this is the shade that I'm most drawn to, I think, in this palette, just because that's the kind of blush shade that I really like. I'm going to use it on this side of my face. See, that has a little more color right off the bat. Then I'm going to take a little bit on my forehead, like I always do with blush. And then I'm going to take a little more Twilight on the other side. Do the same. So here we go. Here's one application of blush. I like it. I think I probably would feel comfortable with this this amount of blush color. It's a little light, but I think it's just because I really like blushes. I probably tend to go a little heavy with the blush. I think that's just it's what I do. What can I say? I go a little heavy with the blush. I realize that. I admit that about myself. So this is a very nice light wash of color. I think it's pretty. Yeah, they're both pretty. But let's see what happens when I add in the two deeper shades. So I'm going to, of course, stick with Spacey, the more terracotta one, on the shade with the orange Twilight blush. So I'm going to take a little of this. Oh, see, that's actually nice pigmentation. See, look at that. That's actually kind of a lot. Ooh, that's a lot. This is also what I do. I keep going and going, and I love blush, and then it's like, if you would just stop 2 seconds ago, you would have been fine. But no, I never stop, and I just keep going, and then I overdo it. So let me try to diffuse this a little bit. So that has great pigmentation, I have to say. I think someone with deeper skin tone will definitely be able to use that because, yeah, that was a lot of pigmentation. But it's pretty. That's a nice color. Oh, that looks good. That looks really good. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit of Gravity on this side. I'm going to be very careful. Going to be very... Oh, see, because see how much it picks up on the brush, and I just tapped into that lightly. How does that look? That looks pretty good. That looks actually quite good. I'm going to take a little more Spacey, this terracotta one, and just... because I can't stop and I can't help myself. Okay. See, that's a little bit much. I think that's much. That's too much. Isn't that a game show? That's too much. Oh no, it's a game on Price is Right. Okay, I like that. And since I brought this highlight palette to like use some more Lunar Beauty stuff, I'm going to use a highlighter from this. I'm going to go into Medusa, which is kind of a champagne. Oh, that's a light one. Which one do I want? Muse? Muse is kind of goldy. Harpy? Harpy. I'm going to take Harpy, this guy. It looks really white in the pan, but it's actually kind of pink. And I think I'm going to actually mix it with a little bit of Muse. I'm going to mix these two. These are very pigmented highlights as well. Okay, nice. And then once I do highlight, I like to kind of blend over it with my blush brush just to make sure there's not like any, sharp edges or sharp lines. So, I have my hair in my mouth, stuck in my lip gloss. Oh, also with the lip glosses, I'll just tell you what I did. So I tried each of these lip glosses individually. So I'll just go ahead and pop in the swatches of those. So. Okay, we're back. Cool. So I really like Celine. Like I said, I have Celine from the Greek Goddess collection. I liked it then. I like it now. I think I'm just going to throw this in my purse to carry around. Although wearing lip gloss and a mask, it's no bueno. It's not a good idea. But I do really like this gloss. So I think I'm going to just keep it with me. We're not going to have to wear a mask forever. Eventually we won't. So I'll keep this and we'll be able to use it at some point. But as far as the two new glosses, I really, really love this Starlight gloss, this pink shimmery one. It is so, so pretty. I adore it. However, this Moon gloss, this light, really, really light brown, I don't like it on me, just like straight on me. It makes me have like corpse lips because it's so light from my skin tone. It just makes me look dead and sickly. I don't like opaque-esque or non-shimmery glosses that have like this light color because on me, they just don't work. It's like way too milky and just, I don't like it. I don't like it. Stargaze, on the other hand, I think is really pretty. That's a really gorgeous pink shimmer. I like that one. That's so nice. And Celine, of course, I think Celine is nice. It has like a little more of a chunky glitter. So if you don't care for like the chunky glitter, look, here's Celine. I look like some kind of crazy monster with all these lip glosses. Sorry. Here's Celine, which is a gold one. That one's pretty. It has a little more of a defined glitter sparkle, which I like for a lip gloss. So what I'm actually wearing today is all three. I mean, right now. But I, of course, took my trusty, handy-dandy favorite lip liner, which is the KKW Nude 2 lip liner. Lined my lips with this guy. Then I put on Moon because it needs a little definition to work on someone of my skin tone. I could use this and it kind of lightened and it blended that lip liner in so it doesn't look quite as deep as if I was just wearing the lip liner on its own, but it deepened up this Moon. And then I took a little bit of Stargaze and put that all over, and then I couldn't help myself and I kept going and I put a little Celine right in the middle, which I think was actually really pretty. I'm gonna put a little more Stargaze on. Just because, I don't know, I've been drinking tea, so why not? I'm not the biggest fan of how the Lunar Beauty lip products smell. They smell, I think they're supposed to be like vanilla cake batter or something like that. They smell sweet, but it's almost, from at least me, it's almost so sickly sweet that it kind of gives me a little bit of an off tinge to them, if you know what I mean. It's kind of like you have a tub of vanilla frosting that's like been left out, or like butter that's been left out on your like 90-degree kitchen counter. Or maybe that's just us because grandma doesn't let us turn the air conditioning on in our house in the summer, but you've left your butter out all day and it's almost slightly gone a little bit rancid. That's what I almost get from these. It's sweet, but a little bit not so great. So I don't love it, but once it's on my lips, I don't notice it and it goes away, so I'm okay with it. I like the lip glosses. I think they're a good formula. They're gloss. They're not going to last very long, but they're comfortable. I think that the two that I really like, of course, Celine and Stargaze, I think I really like because they do have some sparkle. Those are really fun. But all of them are workable. So if you're interested in Moon, if you like a opaque-esque gloss, you can do it. And I think lighter skin tones, obviously it's going to look really good and like really nice and just like very clean and fresh. Like I love a really light nude lipstick on a lot of people with lighter skin tones. I think it looks really pretty. Someone of my skin tone and definitely someone of a deeper skin tone than me would want to pair it, I think, with a lip liner. And it works well. I like my lip combo, and it's literally a combo of all this stuff. And I think it looks good. It looks pretty. What do I think about the blushes? So on one hand, I like that since Manny did come out with a blush palette that there are, oh wait, I forgot I wanted to put this Soleil on, the shimmery one. So now I officially have all 6 blushes on my face, which really is just another typical Tuesday for me. Okay, sorry, I forgot. Continue. I like that since he's putting out a palette that there is a range that will be able to be used for a variety of different skin tones. However, this is going to be more versatile for someone of a lighter skin tone than for someone of a deeper skin tone, because definitely this one, it's not going to work. It's not going to work if you're my skin tone or deeper, definitely, because it doesn't show up on me at all. If you're deeper, you might get into a range where some of these middle two won't work. You could still, I think, use Soleil as a highlighter because it is quite a pretty shimmery blush. So a deeper skin tone could definitely use this as a highlighter. But as a blush, probably not. Twilight, I felt like was a little less pigmented than Stargaze. So again, if you're deeper skin tone, you're really looking at like Stargaze, Gravity, Spacey as being your shades. So is it going to be worth it for $35 if you're only getting 3 shades? It's still not the worst deal, but it gets into the area where it's like kind of borderline. Is it really worth it? I'm not sure. For a lighter skin tone, however, all of these shades could work because even these 2 darker shades, while they are, yes, a lot more pigmented, they are still buildable. And if you go in with a lighter hand, lighter than me, because I go into blush like this. I go, and I don't really pat it off. I go in with a heavy hand because I really like blushes. I know that, I admit to that, but if you had a lighter hand, you could still make these work. And even when I did go in with too heavy of a hand, I was able to take just a powder blush and diffuse the color really well so that it wasn't overly bright. So that's kind of a nice thing for someone of a lighter skin tone. Now, do I wish that Manny had just gone ahead and come out with individual pans of blush? Yes. I kind of do. I mean, the palette is cute. I like blush palettes and I like highlight palettes a lot better than having face palettes. Again, just being someone of medium skin tone, it's hard to find a face palette that's really going to work for you. But I don't mind blush palettes. I think they are quite fun. Because especially this Pink Moon, it's really, really, really light. It's kind of a wasted shade. So for that reason, I do wish that maybe Manny had come out with individual pans because he does have individual pans of his highlights, which I suspect that's probably going to be the next thing that is released from Lunar Beauty because Greek Goddess was released at Christmas time in 2018 and it has, of course, 6 pans of highlighters. Then I think a couple months later, in early 2019, we got the Moon Prism highlighters, which I don't have, but those are the ones that are round and they look kind of like a moonstone that, Makeup Revolution like ripped off, but they have the individual pans of highlights. So I feel like if it's going to follow the same pattern, Lunar Beauty is going to come out with the blush palette first, and then in a few months probably come out with some individual pan blushes, which I really like. Now, if you're someone of my skin tone, probably a little bit lighter, 100%, I would recommend this palette. Even if you're someone deeper than me, I would still recommend this palette because for me, yeah, I can't use Pink Moon, but I can use 5 out of the 5 other shades. So 5 out of 6 is still a pretty good ratio. If you are a lot darker than me, I would say maybe hold off and wait until we get some individual pans from Lunar Beauty. So that's my 2 cents worth. I really like these. I think they're pretty. I love blush. Oh my gosh, I can't stop. I'm gonna do a little draping. Oh, I love blush draping. On my chin. I don't know why I'm just going at it. Now, the only question that I have left is this actually going to be long wearing? And that's a good question because my biggest complaint about blushes, apart from it not being quite pigmented enough or taking too long to build up. Okay, I have a lot of complaints about blushes. But the one that I think is my biggest pet peeve is the blush actually going to last all day? Because so many blushes, you put them on and they look gorgeous. And then blush is that one face product that just disappears. It floats away. And by the end of the day, you're looking in the mirror and you're like, I know I put on blush this morning, but I don't see it anywhere. So I'm going to reserve my final judgment until tonight. We are going to a concert. They're having a little car jam. Little Jam is like a name of a concert series they used to have in downtown Littleton where I live, but they're having a car version where everyone can drive into the shopping center and there'll be a band. I don't know who's playing. I didn't ask. I just was like, sure, why not? It's something to do. Let's go. And you drive into your car and you sit in your car and you turn on the radio and you watch the band and listen to the music. Kind of like an old drive-in movie. Don't you wish that drive-in movies had not closed? Yeah. Shouldn't have put drive-in movies out of business, should we? Hindsight is 2020, because who would have known we would have needed drive-in movies in 2020? Oh well. So I'm gonna go, I gotta get home. We're gonna go grab something to eat and take like a little picnic dinner to our car for a little car jam. And then we'll check in and see how this blush actually lasts. Because if it lasts really, really well, I could definitely see me using this long term. So we're ending up here in my bathroom. It is now 1:48 in the morning, which means I have had this blush on my face for about 11 hours, give or take, sort of. We're gonna go. I think I was like around 3 when I started filming, so about 11 hours, because it's about 2 o'clock now. I don't know if you can tell in this light. I'll take my glasses off. So in my opinion, and the lighting is really weird in here. I've adjusted the white balance, but I think it still looks a little weird. I still can see the blush, and I think it looks really nice, actually. So there was some fading. The blush that was kind of on my forehead has disappeared. I don't know. I don't know where it goes. I don't know where blush just like, does your skin absorb it? Does it just like fly up into the air? I don't know. It's kind of gone. But on my cheeks, it actually still is showing up pretty well. I'm happy with the amount of blush that's left after 11 hours of wearing it. I think it has worn down nicely. There's actually kind of it has faded, definitely. Definitely can say that there's a little bit of fading that's going on here. But I think it's faded kind of evenly on my face. And of course, this was the more like pinky, or no, this was the more like orangey side, and this is the more like pinky side. I really can't tell much of a difference between either side now that they're on my face, and definitely after they have been on my face for this many hours. And you know, it's been warm today. It wasn't as hot. It was in the, earlier this week it was like in the 90s. I don't think it quite got up to the 90s today. It says it's 82 in the bathroom right now. So still kind of warm-ish, but not like hot today. So I've been sweating a little bit, but not excessively so. Of course, makeup doesn't last as long when it's like really hot. But I'm pretty happy with it. I'm happy with this little blush palette. I think it actually worked really nicely. I would recommend. I definitely would recommend for someone of medium skin tone, and I think it could work for people of even, you know, medium deep to kind of a medium deep skin tone. I think would get a lot of use out of this. I like the formula in general. I think it's a very nice blush formula. Yeah, I think it's really nice, considering, you know, right now my favorite blushes of the moment are the ones they have like kind of right here. Of course, I have all of the Cover FX blushes. These are my absolute favorite blush right now. I think they're so good. I also really like the Too Faced blushes. That probably broke. Here's my favorite. This is the watermelon one. Yeah, like my melons. This is my favorite Too Faced blush at the moment. That's super cute. And what other? I think those are the only blushes I've really been using. I mean, literally in every single drawer in my like at-home makeup collection. Oops, sorry. Literally in every single drawer of my at-home makeup collection, I have some of these Cover FX blushes like jammed in, even in places where they're not supposed to be. I do like these ColourPop blushes though. My favorite is the Tiana one, Kissing a Frog, because this one has a little bit of like shimmer, and it's very much my like dusty rose kind of color. This is the makeup I was wearing today. I have to like write it down in my makeup journal. But literally every drawer, see this is the highlight drawer, but I have like 3 of the Cover FX blushes like jammed in there because I have every single one. And I love them. So, but I do like it. I like these Lunar Beauty blushes. I think they are a great deal. I think the lasting power is really good. I think they apply really nicely. So yes, I would recommend these. If, you know, when they come back in stock, pick them up. If you want to wait till they come out in singles, great. I mean, I'm sure, I don't know if they come out in singles, which I really do hope that they do. So, anyways, I'm gonna shut it down. It's now 1:53. I want to take my makeup off and get to bed. So, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a little thumbs up. That would be really awesome. And if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to do that. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. I hope your day is fantastic. I will see you guys next time. Bye.